Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spicy Takes. Today we got Sveat joining us, founder at Rhuna. He's going to tell us about what it is that Rhuna does in the stablecoin payment space. I don't know about you guys, but when I got started this year, came back from the holidays, it seems like everyone's talking about stablecoin payments. I've had a lot of really interesting conversations over the past couple of weeks about, well, I got to think about what I can disclose, but there's banks looking to move into this space in Canada, and that's probably all I can say. And it's a space that everyone seems to be looking at right now, even in TradFi. So a lot of really exciting stuff happening. And Sveat's going to be the perfect guy to give us more information on that and where he sees the sector going. So Sveat, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and tell them what it is you do?
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, my name is correctly Sveat, not Sveat.
My bad.
It's fine. I am the co-founder and founder of Rhuna. It's a white label infrastructure for the big events like festivals, aqua parks, theme parks, concerts, and so on. And we are helping the organizers, owners, from the selling the ticketing until access, until the payment inside of these venues, and also data and data prediction. This is a short description of what we are doing, let's say.
Very nice. And what got you guys, like, what gave you the idea? What's kind of the origin story behind that?
Yeah, the idea is quite very interesting, I think so, because we also, the founders and co-founders, one of the biggest entertainment group, and this entertainment group, it's owning a couple of IPs. These IPs is a couple of festivals, and one of the festivals top 3 globally. It's naming Untold. If you know the Tomorrowland, it's first place, second place is Ultra Miami, and the third place it's Untold Festival. And we have 2 editions. One edition is in the Transylvania, in Romania and Europe, near the Dracula, I would say. And also the second one is in Dubai. And because of our needs, we quite use a lot of suppliers. And when you create such big events, like to understand the size of the scales, it's over 420,000 of the people just in 4 days. And when you create such big events, you also need more suppliers. One supplies for the ticketing, another supplies for the access, another payments, that mean payments inside to buy the burger, water, experiences, and so on, plus also data. And we somehow decided to create, because it was quite pain to work with all suppliers. There was not communicating between them, no APIs and so on, and it was very hard also for the users. Then we decided to create our infrastructure, and first it was launched for ourselves, but many organizers comes and ask what we're using, and from that point, Rhuna started to be, let's say, global infrastructure. We have quite a lot. We are holding and we're serving a lot of events, like over 165 events. Most of them are from the Europe and Middle East. Plus, from this year, we also will serve and be official infrastructure of government of Dubai. And the first festival will be Beach Canteen in the March, where we will showcase the infrastructure for them and so on. It will be over 120,000 people there.
Amazing. Yeah. I want to kind of double click on some of the problems that you stated when it comes to like the traditional payment system, like maybe from the perspective of one of your clients, or maybe from the perspective of yourself, like before you built this out for yourself, what was the typical process like, and what were the pain points that you guys ran into?
The pain point also was like, because you need to use more suppliers, and mostly interesting, we are also quite insiders from this space, and mostly all the guys who are making these events and so on, they are very good about entertainment world, that meaning to create the experience, but many of them very rare have a technical team behind, and this combination was very always, and many times this technical team. It was another supplier, just simple programmers, developers that are providing this solution. But you have so many gaps, small gaps, but it's very important. Plus, also it's extremely important the fees of the banks because in the Europe they're quite lower than in the Middle East, but in the Middle East are quite insane. Like to understand, quite insane. It's over 3.5% just fees of the banks in the Middle East.
Oh, really?
Plus,
So
you
on every transaction?
each transaction, yes.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
that's crazy. And I know some places in the world it's even worse than that. I think like the most extreme example is probably in Africa, where it's like
Oh, there is
if,
hardcore, in my
yeah,
opinion.
if you pay across border, like across two different countries in Africa, I think it can get up to like 50%. Like it's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's like I send you
Yeah,
$10 and you receive $5.
yeah, but it's like in my opinion, it's very also somehow it's very not stable countries there. Also, like I remember when I was in Ethiopia last year or two
Yeah,
years ago, and in that moment it was also launched the rule that you can, from your money, from your bank, you maximum can check out. That meaning extract from the bank maximum $100 per month. And
wow.
it was, yeah, it's like if you have a money, somehow you don't have money. It's very
Yeah,
weird situation. I think something political guys are doing there. Maybe using this money from the people, and after they're saying, okay, yeah,
yeah,
it's that's why I think also it's a lot of crypto projects are going there because they know about the projects, and somehow it was the same with the Turkey. Like people don't have a trust in the local currencies and the governments and so on anymore.
So then you think stable coins like I mean that seems to be like a beachhead market for stable coins at least, where they're going to the really underserved countries where payment is really difficult, where having like store of value is difficult even.
Yeah.
So I think like would you agree that that's like a beachhead market for stable coins?
Yes, but also it depends who is providing, because also it's very important what type of providers you have for on-ramping and off-ramping solution, like also to use in the real life. And many times, if, for example, in Africa, I'm pretty sure it's very difficult also to get on the chain
Yeah,
and off the chain.
yeah,
It's like it's somehow it's all the link the same because you also need to pay, you need to also leave. It's not important that you have only the money. You also need to somehow to spend them.
yeah. So we're not quite there yet, is what you're saying.
In my opinion, no. Like
Yeah,
we are still, everyone is trying, pushing from the crypto space that is good thing. That is some. Yeah, I mega agree. It's like it can be a big plus for all of us. But yes, it's depend. Like myself, I'm quite IT guy, and I also can be my bank.
yeah,
But if I don't know, let's say if couple of my friends who are not tech guys, and if their bank will be themselves, also it's quite risky because they can lose everything from their
yeah,
money. It's
yeah.
it's, it's like in both ways. It can be very positive, but also very negative. From it's
Yeah,
depends.
I agree. I think of it kind of like self-driving cars. It's like people don't trust self-driving cars, but most of them are worse drivers than the self-driving car.
Yes,
And it's kind of like
yes,
that when people try
exactly.
to be their own bank, right? If they're their own driver, but you're a shitty driver, it's like it would be better
Yes,
to
that's
trust.
very good comparison.
Yeah,
Exactly.
except for in this case, like the self-driving car is the disruptive technology, and in the other case, like the bank is the trusted technology.
Yes,
But
yes.
it's kind of the same thing, right? Like the idea persists. If you're a bad driver, you probably shouldn't drive. Same thing
But
if you're a bad banker.
But how you see the outside world, that you see that many are driving exactly, and mostly of them are these
Yeah,
bad drivers.
yeah. Actually, funny enough, quick anecdote. I got into a crash in my Uber in San Francisco last week. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting in the
Okay.
back of this Uber, and I'm like, head down. I'm working. I'm on my phone, and then I just see him like take a left into this lane next to us, and this other car just hits us on the side. And my Uber driver's like all pissed off. I'm like, "Are you okay? Whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, you probably want to go like exchange insurance with that guy, all that stuff." He gets back in the car. I'm like, "Well, I can take another Uber. You know, you don't need to drive me the rest of the way." And he's like, "No, it's fine." And the whole rest of the way, he's trying to convince me that the other guy was in the wrong. And in my head, I'm like, "Yeah, that was your fault, dude." Like just like
yes.
went right into the other guy.
Like I also saw like most crazy was it was in the Turkey. I also was like I was in my car, but it was one taxi driver in front,
Yeah.
and they have let's say four lines. It was, and in the middle it was from the rock something like the delimitation, but it was one space between them, and one taxi driver get inside, and it was quite squeezed, and he was hearing like.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
and he didn't goes back. He
yeah.
goes forward, and after he literally it was like this,
He's just
and
like no paint left on the side of his car.
exactly. Like if you're hearing something, like at least stop it, No, he goes in that direction, and so on. It will be, it's interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy. But anyways, back to the payment side of things. Like I've actually had like most of the conversations that I've been having since the start of the year are with friends of mine that are working in like the VC space, but not necessarily in Web3. And they're trying to look for like, okay, stable coins are happening, on-chain payments are happening. Where should we be looking to invest our money? Like, where is that sector going? And that's kind of what they've been coming to me to ask. So I might just put that question to you, right? Like, for traditional finance people that don't really know anything about stablecoins, don't really know anything about payments, if they asked you, like, how are stablecoins and on-chain payments about to change the world, what would you say?
Like I said, I think it's depend by the people, but the from my side, this is will reduce cost that somehow goes to the current of the businesses, that meaning to the banks, and from my side, it will be very beneficial, and also for us and for our organizers, what we have, that meaning this 3.5%, that money will not go to third party, it will be back to us, that meaning to the Rhuna and to the organizers. This will be the next, let's say, level up of the businesses. You'll be surprised, like many are thinking that 3% it's low sum, but when you have, I don't know, the volume over 10 millions, 100 millions, and when you have a 100 millions, it's almost 3 millions when you are just throw it from the window to somebody else, and with 3 millions, us can survive two years like a company and so on. That's why I'm thinking this will be quite a revolutionary thing that will change a lot, like really a lot.
So you think it'll, like, the biggest positive is basically bringing down the cost of the payments themselves?
Yes. Plus, like also international payments. Also, sometimes, many times, like when you to send to your friend, to your family, it just couple of seconds. Okay, depend by the chain, but compared with the banks, you are just sending. I don't know. Let's say if you want to send from Europe and need to arrive in the Middle East, can be from the 2 days until 1 week.
Yeah.
And why, what is different, like okay, I understand about Swift and so on, but
Sometimes it's important that you get the money there like now, right?
yes, exactly, and many times you need to get now, not later or something like this.
Usually
That's why.
usually if I send somebody money, like, they want it now.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
and after you, and if you it's, let's say also if they are clients, your clients, like you are sending the money and it's okay, send me the proof of wire and so on and so on, like also it's spending your time, from this to proof of payment is done.
Okay, that's another interesting thing that I haven't really dived into when it comes to benefits on the payment side. So you're saying that you can also reduce operational efforts for businesses and like operational expenses, right? Because you're saving them time as well there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
can you kind of elaborate on that? I think that's interesting.
Yeah, because the time, like, also, like, let's say, let me explain. For example, if we have couple of clients, right, and we are collecting the money from the client, their clients, for the payments,
Mm-hmm.
and normally you have agreement like, okay, in 1 week or in 2 weeks, I will send you all the money about your all purchases, about the tickets, and so on and so on. And when you get this money, you need to send. Okay, for the organizer, it's quite crucial to have this money now. Like, he can maybe book artist, book speaker, or make a production something and so on. If not, he need to wait 2 weeks, right? And why we need to hold these 2 weeks? Because if we will send each transaction directly to the organizers, we need to pay the fees. But we are collecting much bigger sum, and after we are sending, and it's one fee per all, I don't know, let's say 100 transaction. If it
Mm-hmm.
was 100 directly transaction, it will be 100 fees,
Mm-hmm.
just by the bank, by the wire transfer. Okay, if you have this on the chain, also you will have the fees, gas fees. But depend by the chain, you can reduce quite a lot, you know. That meaning quite a lot if you I don't know, let's say you have Solana, you have Arbitrum, Pi Square, anything that you have, it reduces quite a lot, because it's a couple of times it's not a cent, it's 0.00 cent or something like
Yeah.
this. That's why. And the time, it's very important. Many times, most of the important, exactly who for the people who are doing from this money something, you know.
Yeah. So as well on your side, like let's say before you guys built the stablecoin payment
Yeah.
rails, right? And you were trying to run your event coordinating and ticket sales, right?
Yes.
I hope I'm understanding that correctly. And so you're basically gathering the money for the tickets that you're selling, and then you're going and sending that money to the actual event
Okay, look,
host.
yeah, here's maybe best example, not about the ticketing selling. For example, you, Matt, are coming to one festival, right? In the FIS festival. When you're coming, you are top-upping your account with some of money, let's say $500, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you are going in this, that meaning the money it's coming from the bank account to your account, and sometimes, not sometimes, many times you have agreement with the payment processor, it's T+1, that means transaction plus 1 day. That meaning if you have a festival of 4 days, right, you, like organizers, you will receive in your account this money just on the second day. But in the first day, somehow you're running from your budget, not from the user budget and so on. And people are buying the water, the burger, the beer, or some experiences, and they're spending the money quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but for me, like organizer, if I would have the money from the first day, then you can directly pre-book many stuff for the next day, you know?
Yeah.
If not, you are waiting. And also another crucial things, many times it's T+1. That one, it's meaning 1 day, but one business day. That meaning if you have a one event that it's running, I don't know, let's say Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the transaction that you have from the Friday, you'll receive only on the Monday, you know, and what you're solving. And this is the idea. And you, let's say, and you are running the festival that it's cost 10 millions. And theoretically, people are spending 5 millions inside of these festivals. You need to wait the Monday to access this money and to spend. And many times you need to and many times you need to do exactly like to get inside, like to take a debt or something to run this festival, you know. This is,
Yeah.
I
So
think, is the best example in our cases.
yeah, that makes sense. So you need to either have like a deep treasury
Yes.
and then have that be able to deploy that treasury, or you need to go and find somebody to finance that for you. So you're
Yes.
borrowing
Yes.
money and
Yes.
then you're paying interest on that. But also it requires you to have like a finance guy on your team
Yep.
because like finance is a skill, right? Like not
Yes.
there's a lot of very smart people and even very wealthy people that aren't good at finance, right? They just have a different skill or another idea that has produced a lot of money for them, but they don't necessarily know how to manage their finances.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
with like a traditional payment system, if they're having to worry about those delays, it means that they actually have to hire somebody whose job it is to manage that and say like, I'm going to make sure that I get us the capital to run our business because we're not going to get paid till after the event is over, basically. And then that person's full-time job is like sitting at the desk, sourcing loans, like all of this stuff, right? You need to have essentially like a lot of companies will have a CFO anyways, but you need to have people working under that CFO that are going to basically manage like the liquidity of the company, which is kind of insane when you think about it for the companies that you're dealing with, because these people want to be focused on hosting fun events. They don't want to be focused on like the nitty gritty finance, timing, and
Yes,
interest rate
yes,
payments.
yes. And
Yeah,
when you also need to calculate, like, also, I don't know, let's say if you are selling the Coca-Cola in the area or something, like they also cost, everything is cost by the money, and you need to calculate, okay, I need for the next day, let's say 10,000 of a Coca-Cola. Do I have enough money for this stock or not? And it's so many points about this.
yeah. And for you guys, your model is more like, you're very like B2B, focused on your clients, giving them a lot of your
Yes,
attention.
yes.
And like each client is very valuable to you, so it sounds like you only need to have a couple clients and do your job really well for them, for your business to be profitable. I'm just curious, like, how do you see that scaling? Do you see this becoming a thing that like everyone starts using, and you're not like working directly with your clients as much, or will it always be like a B2B thing where the
No,
client?
we have a B2C thing, that meaning like we are now creating also like a platform, but also that you, like a small organizers, let's say, can create any type of event. Like maybe you have a party of 100 guys, or maybe you have a bachelor party and you can invite some guys with a price, without price. You can issue
Yeah,
the tickets, or maybe you want some make the payments, whatever, and maybe this money that it's collecting from the tickets, you are buying exactly the all stuff that you need for this party. This is will be generating now another part from the B2C. But yes, you're right. We are focusing more on the B2B side. Honestly, somehow it's B2B2C, because we
yeah.
also are accessing the clients of our B2B clients. And that's why we're doing a lot of features that is very important for these clients, like to be more user friendly, easy to use, and so on and so on. This is the main point.
Right. It's a similar business model to Spicenet's, right? It's like we're gonna serve our clients, but we're gonna make money when their users use them through us, right?
Yes, exactly.
So how do you approach, like, I think it sounds like you've already figured it out, because you guys are kind of at like terminal velocity with right now, which is awesome. But in like the early days, how did you approach that when it comes to like securing predictable revenue, right? Because like I'm asking this like founder to founder, because this is like a thing that Spicenet has to approach as well, is like figuring out how to create recurring revenue from a B to B to C model, where it is dependent on the volume coming from those users at the end. Is there like, did you guys have an approach to that, or were you kind of just like focused on the B2B aspect and like hoping that the rest
Now,
worked out?
like for us, like we have in the plan, like to change a part of the business to SaaS model. And but this is will need to arrive to one point. I can disclose now this is one what is this
Okay.
point. But when we
Yeah.
have amount of X things to be sold each month, then we can switch to the SaaS model, and that one it can be revolution in the entertainment space, my opinion.
Yeah, that would be cool. And then if it's like a SaaS model where other people can integrate you super easily, like
Yes.
they just pay they pay your fee, they put it into their platform, and you don't even have to talk to them. Like I think that's like the scalable dream for you, right?
Yes, and also it's like also it's quite more easy for you, because also if you have your thing modular thing, and you can access on off and so on to would be much more easy. It's like a plugins,
Can you explain that a little bit more?
For example, because our infrastructure is quite very complex, that meaning if you are an organizer or something, and this organizer is, I don't know, I want to sell the tickets only, he's enabling the ticketing model. If you have an access model, that meaning when somebody is coming to the event or your venue, you have mobile applications, you have devices that you can enable it and scan these tickets. Okay, if maybe you need the payments inside of this venue, also it's an hour. Maybe you need predictions, maybe you need help about the marketing stuff, what users are doing, maybe data predictions, and all these things, how we build our infrastructure is like a models, and that meaning each models will have a price. If you want this, some of models will be for free. If this, then you have a specific price that is costly, I don't know, let's say $50 per month or maybe more. It's depending by what you choose and what you want to use,
Okay, yeah. So you got like an a la carte kind of service where the offering is out there and people can say, I need this.
Yes,
this.
exactly.
Cool. And then otherwise in the payment space, like what do you see as the other interesting kind of players in the space that, not necessarily competitors of yours, but just like other payments that are focused on different markets? What are you seeing right now?
It can be a lot of things. Like for example, it's very crucial. Like also, I think it's very crucial to be connecting these two worlds, but meaning the real world fiat and the stablecoins. It need to be also be quite good suppliers. That meaning, I don't know, Tether, Cycle, or whatever, Frac. That meaning it will be more or less cost to bring on the chain, But it's a lot of things. With DeFi solution, we now working, like we have a launching now one working capital that will be yield pool that is helping organizers and the artists to make money and so on. It's so many, I would say everything that you have seen in the fiat world, it can be translated to the stables world. But only different is it can be more techie style, to be. And most of stuff, I think so it will be more fights between the banks, the big institution, just to be, because somehow you're becoming a thing that it's online and don't theoretically sometimes don't need to have regulations, sometimes maybe need to have regulation, but it's more easy to access by another people. It's like the same. I would say it's very good thing to say. Look now, for example, a lot of the platforms before it was impossible to top up your account for trading with stocks, but now you can also top up your account with stables to trade the stocks. Before it was impossible, and so on and so on. Like it's so many opportunities that can be done compared to before.
Do you think that the biggest barrier for stablecoin adoption is like its interoperability with fiat?
Yeah,
like the onboarding, offboarding.
Yes, my opinion, yes. It's this like here it can be yes, my opinion, yes.
Yeah,
Because there you are using a lot of maybe fees, maybe it's depend on the chains.
And then that's where like the regulatory issues and like the actual location barriers present themselves, right?
Yes, exactly. Because until now, many countries are not allowing, let's say, the crypto. Okay, it's quite started to be more positive after the Trump family, let's say, in the space. But honestly, until now, it's not clear in many, like in Europe, because they are moving quite slowly. And also, regulation is very slowly about it. And in some countries are legal, and some countries not legal.
Yeah.
And for example, myself, if where I'm living, sometimes if I'm using something, I receiving notification from the bank. Look, you're using the crypto, and in the rules of the bank, it's saying because you are somehow it's if you are using the websites, gambling websites, crypto, and something else. It was I don't remember the name. somehow it's not allowed by my bank.
Really,
And
they're
if you
blocking it.
use what?
They're blocking it. Like you trying to get
They
your
say
money on chain.
it's for the first one it's fine, but if you repeat it, we will just need to close your account and you take your money and go away from this space and so on.
Crazy, crazy.
Yes.
I thought that was kind of a thing of the past because that would happen to me like 5 years ago when I
Yeah,
was
but
trying to put my money on chain in Canada. But then like now I think every bank has just moved to accept it. And
no, like Europe still have issues, quite big issues and so on about it. And I'm pretty sure also another big countries. For example, also in Russia, in India, in China, it's also depends, like, you know.
do you think
The
we'll
ways, backdoor ways it can be fine for sure. But I'm saying like to be all full legal and so on.
do you think we'll ever get to a point where there's like enough that you can do directly with digital assets and payments that you don't have to go between like a bank account and an on-chain account and you can just live on chain completely?
Myself, yes. But also here it's very important, but it's quite cool that in this year and the last year appear like we have more examples about like also cards that it's linked to your wallets and so on. And this is very beneficial. Before it was quite difficult. I would say if it was 3 years ago, it was quite difficult to have a card that it's linked to your account or wallet, whatever. But in this time, I think yes. If you are also if you have a salary on the chain or something like this, my opinion also you can use them quite good compared with 2 3 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like I mean I take a salary on chain, right?
Mm-hmm.
We pay all of our employees on chain, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I think like most people are still just taking that money to their bank account so that they can pay their bills and stuff like that. I guess
Yes.
like the question for me is like how long until that's not the case, and I feel no need to take that money into my bank account, assuming I'm a good enough at being my own banker, as you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is. I think also this is coming like because many are not the techie guy, and this is one of I think where the people need and the projects and the institution need to find a way to be super safe because I don't know. For example, here I hear many times like you also receiving simple links just for your I don't know, let's say your package that is coming by the courier, and they're sending fake links. People are putting their cards there, and after the card is drained completely. You know. Also the same with the crypto. Many times, like big people who have millions can be drained from the wallets, and you don't want to be the guy or older guy. That's what I think is most crucial when you are ages 60 or 70 and after you have I don't know, say 2 3 millions in the bank account, but it was from the full of your life made month by month, and you just wake up that no, but nothing can you have in your wallet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This will be super painful, like many can kill themselves for this.
Yeah, we almost have to like see adoption for a lot of the well, at least with the current user experience. I mean, I think things will change a lot to like
Mm-hmm.
with stuff like what you're doing, where the end user doesn't even really understand that you're sitting there facilitating in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways, right? Like that's kind of the UX that you want to build out. I think that's sort of where we'll see a lot of adoption. But in a lot of ways as well, like it kind of has to be the new generation that takes to it because the people that are so used to like the OG financial systems just aren't going to be convinced to come and try
Yes,
like
yes,
this
yes,
thing,
yes.
right?
Yeah, I think that the best usage of this stuff it's somehow like you are saying, it's like to have a Web2 user experience with free tech behind. I think this is what will be like everyone is saying Web3, but Web3 user experience is super shitty.
Yeah.
But Web2 experience is quite very common. Everyone understands, also like your mother, your grandfather, and so on. Like these levels can be understood. But if for them it will be also behind the technology that can check everything in Web3, that is very beneficial for you. Then you can see everything that is happening. And plus, if it will be linked to your identity, it will be more easy to find maybe the scammers and so on. Okay, this is also one of the points why the cryptos exist, because many are hiding their identity. But in the real world, like if it's from a bank account, you will see that all transaction, but it's coming and something is wrong, and you can revert them. It will be quite interesting, but already not very crypto style.
Yeah, it's I think like for that to happen, there needs to be like enough privacy built out on chain where
Yes,
people are
exactly.
comfortable with
Yes,
and I mean that's coming super fast. That's obviously like been one of the main narratives that we've seen come out of this cycle is like privacy. So I
exactly.
think that's coming, and then people or more services can require people to provide identification and then use their fiat directly with the service. Everything happens on chain, payments are private, and then we've kind of created a system where the people that are used to the old UX but want better results are happy because we've generated those results without any of the UX problems that Web3 imposes.
Yep, agree.
Well, I think we're gonna have to leave it there for today, Svet. I got to get going to another meeting. I just came to downtown Toronto. I'm in the Super Team Canada office. There's an event here that's about to start.
Nice.
So pretty excited about that. So I'm going to have to let you go right now. But before I do, I want to give you the opportunity to tell our community anything that you want them to pay attention to on your sides. Obviously, I'll put your X up on the screen. Do you want me to just put the Rhuna X up on the screen for them to?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's coming a lot of things like stay active in the community. We will have a lot of new incoming news and so on, and I think it will be very surprised if you will be also active. We will have some rewards and so on. Yeah, stay active, I would say.
How can people get active with you guys?
Well, just be active on the socials, check our social, what we are doing. We have some challenges. We have challenges with another projects between us and so on. This is very helpful.
Yeah, and any upcoming events that you guys are partnered with?
Yeah, it's coming a lot, like a lot of conferences. We are onboarding a lot of conferences, crypto conferences this year, like Proof of Talk, Istanbul, blockchain. Like it's a lot of from Asia, food festival from the government of Dubai in the March. Many big festivals, Untold Dubai, Never Sea Capital, also Zamna, and so on. It's a lot of incoming, very good news.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Dekmi.
You follow at Rhuna.io. They've got lots of events coming up, fun ways for you guys to get involved. And it sounds like they have a reward system as well. So that's always fun. And until next time, stay spicy, guys. See you next week.
Yeah. Have a good one. Bye bye.